Welcome to episode 12 of the Seeds of Success with RSR. In this episode, we will explore Excusitis, a common habit, albeit a bad habit of many. Excusitis is the habit of giving excuses. It is not uncommon to find people who indulge in the justification of inaction or indecision by giving some or the other excuse. In episode 2 of this podcast, I spoke on locus of control and why it is important to own up responsibility for our actions and decisions instead of giving excuses. In episode 6 of this podcast, I mentioned that avoiding excuses is one way to avoid procrastination and live life. In this episode, we will see why people give excuses and how to be rid of what is called excusitis. Excuses sound great. After all, excuses make living with failed expectations much easier. As a bonus, we also win the sympathy of others. It is easier to believe that we are not perfect, and that gives a lot of psychological security. In fact, many people believe that they are quite flawed and achieving goals is not easy. The fact is, in real life, it couldn't be worse. With such a belief system, people end up not achieving the goals they set for themselves. People are more than capable of achieving things beyond their wildest imaginations, but this does not happen because people just get in their own way with excuses like, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough experience, I'm not ready yet, it's too difficult, I'm not good enough, I don't have any luck, it isn't the right time, other people are holding me back, it's too risky, it just can't be done, I just can't deal with all these problems. Well, all these excuses keep people stuck. Everyone wants wonderful things in life, but cannot have them because the excuses they make prevent them from moving forward. Of course, there will be roadblocks and obstacles that temporarily prevent someone from accomplishing their goals. It is in these moments that one has the choice, either to take the initiative and move forward or just sit back and make excuses. What, instead of making excuses, if people dedicate to just simply forging ahead? What if they had no option but to move forward? Would they still be making excuses? A point to ponder. The only way one will ever get to that place that one has imagined is by letting go all the excuses. It also means taking ownership, responsibility, and initiative to move forward with purpose. In fact, taking initiative is the exact opposite of making excuses. As I mentioned in episode 3 on belief systems, this also depends on the beliefs that a person harbors. A belief of yes, I can instead of no, I can't. For more on belief systems, do listen to episode 3 of this podcast. Instead of making an excuse that I don't have enough knowledge or I'm not educated enough, commit yourself to growth and development. Instead of saying I don't have time, commit yourself to improving your time management skills. You will always find the time for the things that you prioritize. Instead of saying I don't have enough experience, commit yourself into taking very small but gradual steps towards your desired objectives and gain the experience. There is always a first time for everyone and for everything. We all start with baby steps before we learn to run. Instead of making the excuse, it is hard, accept the fact that learning something new takes time, energy, and effort. Instead of the excuse, I just don't have any luck, come to accept that luck increases as you take more chances and as you work harder. Instead of saying it is not the right time, acknowledge the fact that there is never really a right time or a perfect moment to do anything. Instead of engaging in the common excuse, I am afraid of what others may think, remember that the only opinion that truly matters is your own opinion. Instead of thinking, I am afraid of making a mistake, remember that mistakes are a natural part of life. Everyone makes mistakes and they are necessary to learn and grow. And this list of excuses and what we can do to avoid them goes on. Remember, for every excuse, there is a solution. Being aware when we are indulging in giving excuses is an important first step. Subduing and altogether avoiding the excuses is the next step. Getting to be proactive and taking positive actions is the third step. When this is done regularly, a new habit of avoiding excuses develops. We make excuses for different reasons. The feeling of fear, which keeps us in our comfort zone and prevents us from venturing out into the unknown. This leads to giving excuses. Fear is largely a perception. Majority of our fears do not turn true. We don't want to fail, but failures are the stepping stones to success. We don't have specific goals. If we don't have specific and measurable goals, it is easy to make excuses. Comparing with others, which leads to losing our self-confidence. We are not motivated enough. Be stronger than your excuses, said Eric Thomas. So, some steps we can take to stop making excuses. Stop comparing with others. Stop fearing the unknown. Stop blaming others. Take responsibility. Take daily actions. Set small, attainable goals. Learn from mistakes. Don't focus on weaknesses. Do work on overcoming weaknesses, but focus on your strengths. Change your attitude. Develop a positive attitude. For more on this, listen to episode 11 of this podcast. Believe in yourself. Visualize your success. Remember, it's okay to not be perfect. Remember what J. Belfort said. The only thing standing between you and your goal is the bullshit story you keep telling yourself as to why you can't achieve it. Benjamin Franklin said, "He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else." I hope you found this episode useful. Please subscribe to my podcast, in which I will speak about nuggets of wisdom that I have come across in life. And if you think a one-to-one conversation with me will help in working towards your goals and resolving your dilemmas or challenges, please do get in touch with me for a coaching, mentoring session. You can reach out to me on rsrmurthy4@gmail.com. I repeat, rsrmurthy numeric 4@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.